Well, to pivot to a slightly less depressing story, this is kind of a fun topic that I wanted to discuss briefly before we move on to our next story. But how familiar with you, Zach, are you with The View?
You know, funny enough, when I was growing up, I used to like get babysat by my grandma over the summer, and she would make pancakes, and then in the afternoon, she would always watch The View. So I watched The View back when What's Her Fuck was on it, the lady that hates Donald Trump, and he was always feuding with. She was an actress in the '80s.
Rosie O'Donnell?
Rosie O'Donnell, yeah, that was the era that I remember. I believe watching The View. I don't know what the fuck time period that was, but obviously I've seen some of the best of Meghan McCain's, and by best of I mean worst of.
Yeah, that's actually funny. I never watched it that young. I mean, I don't really watch it now, but to what extent that I am aware of it, it's actually interesting because it does seem to be one of the few kind of cable shows which has a different vibe in a sense than some of the other ones, and that it kind of, I mean, first of all, no one on The View is really all that qualified to be talking about politics. They're all just kind of like celebrities and stuff. So that's that's one funny aspect of it. But the more interesting thing I think about The View is that how it incorporates drama into the programming. It's pretty much the main appeal of The View is the dramatic aspects of it. Like you said, with Rosie O'Donnell and nowadays with Meghan McCain. Meghan McCain is leaving The View, but they were actually talking recently on Breaking Points with Krystal and Sagar about how, despite the fact that Meghan McCain is odious and has all these terrible beliefs, recently she's been echoing the neocon bullshit of her father, John McCain, et cetera, et cetera. They were like, we can't deny the fact that she's played the role well as kind of the villain on The View. The reason why people keep coming back to see the other hosts like Whoopi and whatever kind of like spar with her and, get in these passive aggressive little fights and stuff. That's kind of the point of the show, which obviously is funny because, obviously we engage in that kind of, commentary a lot on our show about different spats between political commentators online. So, I think that's one of the elements of The View that's kept it really relevant because, again, it's entertaining in and of itself to watch, regardless of what they're talking about on the show. So, again, it kind of has mastered that infotainment vibe. And it is one of the most relevant shows on cable television, at least from what I've heard. Among the voting demographic, this show has a pretty large viewership, and the way a guest does on the show can make or break their political career, even to some extent. So with all that being said, I thought this was a pretty funny tweet. First off, there's this tweet here from ABC. It's time to celebrate when The View returns to kick off its 25th season. But actually, Katie Halper responded to this and said, "We have 1 week to make our own," and tags Brianna Joy Gray, Krystal Ball, Rania Khalek, Abby Martin, Jamie Elizabeth, so that's Jamie Peck formerly from the Majority Report, Anya Parampil. But that being said, this is actually something I've thought of before, and not to say like, oh, this is my idea or whatever. Obviously, I'm sure other people have had this ideas too, but this is something I've thought would be cool before. If we had kind of a show like The View, again, uniting these female perspectives, which don't get enough attention as is. So it would be great to elevate these female perspectives. And also just think about how cool it would be to actually have a roundtable show with some of these great personalities. Again, Brianna Joy Gray, Krystal Ball, Abby Martin, Rania Khalek, Katie Halper, etc., into their own kind of roundtable View-esque discussion, but actually coming at it from an anti-establishment, leftist perspective, progressive perspective. I think that would be awesome and something that I don't know how it could happen, but if it did, would be great. My only note would be is that what's missing from this lineup is the Meghan McCain. All these people are too smart. We need Anna Kasparian on there, something like that. You know what I'm saying? This would be too good. We need someone in there to be the point of contention, someone bringing the drama a little bit. So, whether it's Anna or Emma Vigeland, maybe, I don't know. So we need some friction in here if this were ever to happen. But, again, this is more of just a fun story, but do you have any opinions on that, Zach?
No, just that I need that. I'll let you run with that, but that was a good one. But yeah, no, I would love to see more a round table style. So I mean, I think honestly, shout out to Fred Hampton Leftist. They've kind of put that together with a lot of unique up and coming black voices on the left, and I think the same thing could be done with a lot of the women's voices on the left too. That way, we got a little bit more diversity. It's not just a couple of white guys like me and Gavin yammering about politics. We like to have an eclectic bunch here. I think this would definitely be a good step in the right direction, and I would definitely get behind that, promote it on the Vanguard, do that kind of shit.
I think it would be totally awesome. And again, just speaking to how relevant the View is, despite how cringe it often is, I think that, maybe we should learn from the more successful aspects of mainstream media where we can. And again, I don't even, Katie Halper might have just been 100% joking here. I'm not sure if she actually was at all serious about this idea, but it does look like a lot of the people who she tagged responded affirmatively. Abby Martin says, let's go. Rania says, woo. So, again, I know it seems funny or whatever, but I think it could actually be a seriously good addition to the leftist independent media sphere if they put something like this together. I think it would be fantastic to watch, really enjoyable. And again, especially if they added a voice that was a little bit heterodox to this crowd, someone that has a little bit more cringy opinions, then I think that could even make it more fun to watch for that reason. But again, just taking some cues from the actual View. But I thought that'd be worth discussing just because I thought it was a fun tweet from Katie. So shout out to Katie Halper, friend of the Vanguard.